Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's good, crypto family? Man, I appreciate for all the birthday wishes. But first thing first, I hope you guys are still holding onto your bags. Yes, you seen the title is correct. $500 trillion Bitcoin market cap. Dogelon Mars, $100 billion market cap. Again, if you're estimating on how crypto will flow, how is it possible that we can reach that type of amount in our markets? It's the liquidity that will be flooding in. Market cap does not estimate where the price will go. But understand this. They're like, well, the circulating supply is too huge. There's no way Dogelon Mars can reach that. There's no way that such and such. But hold up. We'll get to it. I appreciate everybody tapping in. But it's only right if we go ahead and play this.
5%, 10 on every car that I own. Put the strike in track mode while I listen to Bone. Black on black 45, need another in chrome. If I don't hit you, then my bitch will want you walking my home. First flight to Jamaica, next one to Bahamas. I'm gonna win no matter what. God made me a promise. Just bought so much Dogelon that I just added 2 commas. I tell my son believe in himself and respect his mama. Make sure you get to your money, invest in yourself, and go follow your dreams. Daddy ain't who.
Shout out to everybody that is in the chat. What's good? How you guys doing? Man, look, I'm going to say it like this. I haven't posted in 6 days? A lot of, and I've been sitting on the sidelines. I've been sitting in the cut and I've been observing. I ain't gonna lie, I've been observing the Dogelon Mars family. I've been observing other communities, and also I've been in the rabbit hole as well. But it's just so crazy the amount of disbelief on the project that we hold. Why is that? I don't understand. We are a hidden gem still. Most tokens with a major circulation supply is what we hold. We are OGs. We are able to have that circulating supply, and we still ran up to $1 billion market cap. Ran up to 4 zeros. OG tokens like Kishu Inu, Shiba Inu, of course, Dogelon Mars. But the new tokens that you guys see right now, they're not going to experience the same momentum that we are going to experience. People are probably saying, well, CryptoBrown, you know what I'm saying? We haven't dealt with the burn yet. What's going on? Why haven't we dealt with this burn? Man, look. I really do believe what the devs are doing in the background, they will be when I'm talking about a major burn, I don't really believe it's just going to be a couple trillion tokens that's going to be wiped out. Not what we are going to experience. Again, what you see in the title is what I am speaking about, the mega super cycle. The Fed. Understand this, Jerome Powell got shit tons of money. Shit tons of money. These politicians have shit tons of money. Trump is looking at, hey, we need to hurry up and start this cycle. It's not for us. understand this. It's not for us. Because, and again, I'm not on no side. I'm just following the money. But this is how I'm looking at it. We cannot let these retail investors get a advantage, which meaning we don't care where the price go. Just send it up. Send the price up higher. We can afford to buy these prices because the average retail investor is not going to invest into those assets because it's already hard. It's already tight enough. This is the whole manipulation game, and they have been manipulating it. But this is crazy. You've been in this space for a while. You should feel it in your chest like, damn, this, I know this is manipulation, but they're doing it much more harder. What they say, no Diddy or whatever. That was crazy how I said it. But you can really feel the pressure. All right. What you're seeing right now, Bitcoin is at $111,000. Ethereum sitting at 4 bands. XRP sitting at 282. The fear and greed index is sitting at 41. And the altcoin season index is sitting at 68. Market cap is at 3.82 trillion. But CryptoBrown, how can we shoot up to $500 trillion market cap for Bitcoin? How can Dogelon Mars shoot up to $100 billion market cap? I wish that price was really on crypto.com. I really wish that price was really on Phantom Wallet. But we'll get to that. I accumulated of what I could. The point is this. You will be rewarded for your patience. Again, let me repeat. You will be rewarded for your patience. The longer the base, the higher we go in space. You thinking we're going to stop at 4 zeros? The amount of money that is sitting on the sidelines. Wake up. Wake up, guys. I don't know what's going on with y'all, man. Like, I really do feel that the people that is in the space, the people that is in the comments saying, oh, we're not going to shoot up here. We're not going to go up there. I can't believe you guys listen to this person here, are the ones that's going to discourage you for you to second guess and be like, am I really holding this token after this guy been preaching about Dogelon Mars reaching 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, and it's no way possible? The devs has not even burnt any tokens. They created a metaverse, and what's so cool about that? I need to get into real assets, but understand this, Jack. Understand this. The CFTC already, we're already certified. And understand this. The commission board, the SEC, they already said that, hey, it's going to be a lot more easier. It's going to be a lot more easier for digital assets to have their ETFs. I've been saying Dogelon ETF for a while, but my other X got hacked and it's still up there. It's crazy. Dogelon Mars ETF. Everything is coming into intuition. Again, you're not understanding the pinnacle that we are about to reach. Don't let them discourage you. And the thing about it is, I don't go on X as much as I used to in the beginning of the years when I, created YouTube. The reason why is you see so much BS on there, it kind of pushes you away from the momentum that you have built up, where other people just steady. You gotta block all that out. Tunnel vision. But you guys really did come here to see why I even spoke about a $500 trillion Bitcoin market cap, $100 billion Dogelon Mars market cap. So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But before I even get into it, shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. What's good? What's good? Yeah, we're gonna put him on block light. He says, Cap, Elon ain't reaching his all-time high. Brown, you overexpose, and you're trying to overexpose your viewers so they can lose money with you. So I hold him. I hold you accountable. Okay. I want to put this all on blast because I want people to see this. And I want them to eat up. Why will you hold $20 billion? Not 20, but why will you hold 20 billion tokens if you feel like you're losing money? Why did you buy in? But let's get to it. Let's get to it. This is why I love this shit. I love this shit.
Higher.
How much higher? You see the price of Bitcoin heading?
Higher. Higher.
How much higher?
A lot higher. My general framework from the highest level is human beings collectively, we own about $900 trillion worth of stuff. That's equities, the things behind us, real estate, precious metals, fine art, all of the things that we own. Half of that we're using as a savings account. We're owning the portfolio of companies or the art or the house to actually try and persist wealth into the future. Mm-hmm. I think Bitcoin's going after that market. It's going after a market of $400 to $500 trillion worth, and right now it's $2.5 trillion. So I think in purchasing power terms, Bitcoin can go up 100 to 200 times more from here.
All right. So we know Bitcoin obviously is the most. How do you see the price of Bitcoin heading?
Higher. Higher.
How much higher?
A lot higher. My general framework from the highest level is human beings collectively, we own about $900 trillion worth of stuff. That's equities, the things behind us, real estate, precious metals, fine art, all of the things that we own. Half of that we're using as a savings account. We're owning the portfolio of companies or the art or the house to actually try and persist wealth into the future.
Hold on,
all of the things that we own, precious metals, fine, real estate, the things behind us, it's equities, the things. That's equities. We own about $900 trillion worth of stuff. We own about $900 trillion worth of stuff. We own about $900 trillion worth of stuff.
Man, wake up. Wake up. Wait, did you hear what he said? This is why I kept on running this shit back. People are not understanding. This is the reason why Google sued Russia for how much? For how much? But people don't know there is that much money around the world. People don't know that. People are not understanding. They only thinking, oh, $1 trillion is a lot of money. But I'm gonna back this shit up though. Take this shit out. Russia fines Google $20 decillion, many times larger than the global GDP. Again, I'm gonna put this in your face. Wake up, Jack. Wake up. We are entering into a whole new world of money. We're tapping into that barrier that needed to be unlocked. Russia fines Google $20 decillion. Do you guys see what the hell going on, man? You see what's going on? Man, wake up. Wake up. Please wake up. I'm going to play that one more time.
$900 trillion worth of stuff. Collectively, we own about $900 trillion worth of stuff. That's equities, the things behind us, real estate, precious metals, fine art, all of the things that we own. Half of that we're using as a savings account. we're owning the portfolio of companies or the art or the house to actually try and persist wealth into the future. I think Bitcoin's going after that market. It's going after a market of $400 to $500 trillion worth of.
So with Bitcoin going towards 400 to 500 trillion dollar market cap, I mean, just speculate. Where can we reach as this project who has been certified by the CFTC that we passed that legal barrier that we can't reach 100 billion? I really do believe that $100 billion market cap for Dogelon Mars is still too low. It's still too low. But we'll keep going. Shout out to Marco. Massive 10 trillion Dogelon Mars transfer last night. Maybe a listing on the horizon, as you guys see here. A major listing. So whoever transfer, like whoever bought that amount, Dogelon Mars, $901,000, around 224 ETH. Something big is brewing. Something big is brewing. Yeah. Depending on who Trump picks at the next Fed chair, it could kick off a whole crypto mega cycle. Mike Novogratz.
Do you guys
Let's play it right
think the 4-year cycle's over for crypto in general? Or do you think that like end of this year, there's some sort of top and next year is back into a bear market?
It's a great question. I spent all night thinking about it.
Don't worry, so do I.
And of course, the market got the living shit kicked out of it today, right? So I guess we should have sold it. Listen, these are very hard calls. We are moving into a world where we've got central banking independence really a question. We've never had that in my 40-year career in Wall Street. And so depending on who Trump picks as the next
Hold on. Dissect what the hell he said. We never really had that 4-year cycle. I mean, in Wall Street. In Wall Street, we ain't never really had just a 4-year cycle. This is why I said we're not going to be experiencing that same shit, man. We are not going to experience those so-called 4-year cycles. Let's run this back. Hear what Anthony Pompliano asked Mike Novogratz.
Do you guys think the 4-year cycle's over for crypto in general? Or do you think that like end of this year, there's some sort of top and next year is back into a bear market?
It's a great question. I spent all night thinking about it.
Don't worry, so do I.
And of course, the market got the living shit kicked out of it today, right? So I guess we should have sold it. Listen, these are very hard calls. We are moving into a world where we've got central banking independence really a question. We've never had that in my 40-year career in Wall Street. And so depending on who Trump picks as the next Fed governor, had that in my 40-year career. Really a question. We've never had that in my 40-year career. Central banking independence really a question. We've never had that in my 40-year career in Wall Street. And so depending on who Trump picks as the next Fed governor, it could kick off a whole freaking mega cycle.
Oh my God. Hold up. Did you hear what he said? It could kick off a whole new mega cycle. I know we have been like anticipating August, September, October, November, December. Don't anticipate. Don't anticipate, because when you keep on anticipating on when we will break out, you will always lose hope. Never anticipate. Just keep on doing what you're doing, because when it pops, it pops. Yeah, I know it's a struggle. You keep on looking at your portfolios and you're like, man, what the hell is really going on? You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, if you have been investing over the years, right? Over the years, you may have more money in your crypto portfolio than in your bank account. And that's the reason why you're still looking at your crypto portfolio. Should I take portions or percentages out of my portfolio because I need to handle some bills? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it led us through all those years to where we at right now. It led us here. So if it led us here, what makes you think in the next 5 years, that portfolio that you've seen, your investment that you put in won't be 100x, 1,000x from here? I've known people who invested 40 grand. I've known people who invested 100,000 in Dogelon Mars. I even posted on videos. They even sent me videos. Do I still got it? I've had them sent me videos of them investing, and they're not crying. They're not crying about the portfolios. These major corporations or institutions are not crying. These doctors, these lawyers, whatnot, they are not crying about their portfolios because they have a grin on their face. They know people like the retail investors who complain and cry are going to sell their bags, but they don't have the knowledge that I have been trying to put and instill into everyone's mind to understand his patience. It's a waiting game. It's just like what Warren Buffett said. If you're not willing to deal with the 70% correction, what makes you think you are grateful enough to have that amount of wealth?
Banking independence, really a question. We've never had that in my 40-year career in Wall Street. And so depending on who Trump picks as the next Fed governor, it could kick off a whole freaking mega cycle.
Oh,
right. We throw so many independents into the toilet, and crypto's going a lot higher. Right. And so the political situation makes that prediction harder. The Fed just cut rates. They're going to cut at least one more time, probably 2 more times. Is it strange they cut rates when the stock market's on an all-time high, gold is on an all-time high, crypto's on? Yeah, it is. There was political pressure, some. But they are also wrestling with this thing we never had to think about before, which was AI, the great job destroyer. And it's going to destroy jobs. You can see it already, especially young people's jobs, high-paying ones. And so what AI does to this world, if anyone thinks they really know, they're out of their minds. It's so complicated. And so there's a lot more uncertainty in macro than I've ever seen, which makes calling the top of the cycle much more difficult.
The other thing I would add is, Mike just touched on executive branch, Fed independence. But, I honestly think what might end up being the biggest thing when we look back in 20 years is Congress. And we just passed the Genius Act a couple months ago. Stablecoins are now recognized by United States Congress. I think we're going to get the Clarity Act passed hopefully in the next couple months here. Fingers crossed. I was in DC last week talking with Senator Scott and a bunch of others on some of these issues. And then of course we have Chair Paul Atkins, who announced Project Crypto, and he said unequivocally, we're going to move U.S. securities markets on chain. It's with that backdrop, it's, I think probably the right historical comp to think about here is the Telecommunications Act of 1996. And when Congress passed that act and President Clinton signed it, that is really what laid the groundwork for the internet to grow. It gave companies the confidence to build fiber, for guys like Cisco to build all the routers and the infrastructure, for Intel to build all the chips and all the memory and all that stuff, for Microsoft and all the software makers, to make all the apps. And I think the Genius Act and now soon the Clarity Act, when we look back 20 years from now, it's going to be pretty obvious that that was the watershed moment. And so, we just feel incredibly excited about this. I'd say the last thing I would say is, there's I think 6 billion people have a smartphone today in the world, something like that. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Obviously, that'll get to 8 billion here in the next few years. And Google and Apple were never going to add native support for stablecoins in iOS and Android until stablecoins were fully blessed federally to be legal. That's happened. I don't know when Apple and Google are going to enable stablecoins as a first-class citizen in iOS and Android, but at this point, you can kind of assume the probability that that's going to happen is 100%. Maybe it's in 26, maybe it's in 27, maybe it's in 28. I obviously don't know anything about their timing, but we've got David Sachs as crypto czar in the White House. Guarantee you, he's been calling the folks at Apple and Google and telling them, "Hey guys, this is a matter of U.S. interest to promote the growth of stablecoins around the world. Build this into iOS and Android as a first-class primitive."
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, do you still feel Dogelon Mars won't go anywhere? You guys feel like the market is just going to just go in shambles while these major corporations invested billions and billions of dollars? You're going to come to a point in your life that you're going to be like, damn, that boy CryptoBrown, like, he really did gave us this jump. Most of us sold, some of us hold. It's all about what you want to change your life, man. Like, I gave you the blueprint. This is the blueprint. And if you can't understand the blueprint, man, and crying about you held 3 years, go talk to people who held Bitcoin for about 14 years. And the whole 10 years, they ain't see no damn movement. Back in 2009. That just make sense. You shouldn't invest in something that you don't truly believe in. You understand? But we're gonna leave it at that note. Oh yeah, we ain't done yet. And then yeah.
To be 100,000 buy on Dogelon.
Yeah. See, look. You ever seen that? You ever seen that one video? It's like, look. This is it. I told you, listen, Brown, $100,000 buy. Stop playing them crackhead ass games, man.
This was supposed to be 100,000 buy on Dogelon.
Hey, Craig, tell Steve that. Tell the world. Craig.
It is. I had to actually make a purchase just before this, so that's the reason you're already seeing the 70,000 bought in. But we're going to make the final 30,000 right now. I'm going to swap my SPX into Dogelon Mars. So a big sorry to the SPX community.
Again, SPX, that's what Murad like to talk about. Shout out to Murad. Ain't no hate, no fun. I fuck with you. But it only makes sense.
And hope this works. Let's go. Let's swap. Let's do the maximum amount of 26,568.26. I don't think that would work, but we'll try it out because there needs to be a charge. Let's see if it works. Approve. Let's go for it. And there you go. That's 99,892. Almost 100,000 worth of Dogelon. Yeah. I would say a bit disappointed. It hasn't hit 100,000 as planned, but that's how the market is. It fluctuates a bit. Planned.
Hey, Big X. Did you hear what he say? He was mad that it didn't hit 100,000, but the market fluctuates. He has 70 bands and he had 30 bands of damn XPX. Know what you hold. Don't let this shit go over your head.
But that's how the market is. It fluctuates a bit. But thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, Jack. Okay. Yeah, it's on my it's you know what? I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna pin it. Usually I post my videos and let that pin up there, woo the woo. But break in the Netherlands just announced to consider establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is massive. And you're crying about 3 years. You're crying about 4 years. You're crying about this, or your portfolio went to shits. It went to shits. What is there to cry about, bro? What is there to cry about if you're investing into the new financial asset class, which is digital currency? And you have to understand, look at, and I'm talking to everybody, look at all these other digital assets. Let's talk about the OG tokens. We're not talking about these new tokens that's spurred it up. And that's a whole nother story. But let's talk about these OG tokens, where these tokens, the retail investors that invested into it, has well over 300, 500,000 holders. Well over. Dogelon Mars is around what, 250, quarter million? Roundabout. We're well below, what's our market cap right now? Shit. What, 88? Nah, $48 million? We're at 48 million. We got 1 point something million people on the damn following list of Dogelon Mars. Do you guys understand that you all are legends? Legends. People cry about they missed out on Bitcoin. People cried about when they missed out on Dogecoin. I got in a Dogecoin, put $30, made 7,000. Wish I would have put a hell of a lot of money in there. People cried about Shiba Inu, and they made millions and billions. And now in our day and age, presently, people are crying about they're losing money in Dogelon Mars. But in the next coming of weeks or months, they are going to be crying about, I wish I would have bought more Dogelon Mars. And I did tell you guys, I said, man, I'm gonna do away with YouTube. I'm still on like that scale. You see what I'm saying? The amount of FUD that's been in the market, that has been in the space, I want you to see me every day. Probably not every day, but you're going to have to see me. And I want you to understand that you had an opportunity of your lifetime to become a wealthy individual. It could go for he, it could go for she. It doesn't matter. You have the opportunity right now. $100 can get you 1 billion tokens. Go ahead and try to buy 1 billion tokens of Shiba Inu. Go ahead and try to buy 1 billion tokens of Dogecoin. I mean, I'm going to put it in your face. I'm going to put it in your face. Yeah, let's run this up right quick.
Merkelijk gegeven, anyway. De Kamer gehoord de beraadslaging verzoekt de regering om naast onze nationale goudvoorraad ook te starten met...
Hold on. We don't understand that. No disrespect to the Netherlands. I love the Netherlands, but I don't think my viewers or I can understand what you're saying. But basically what he's saying is they just announced to consider establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, which is massive. The world is adopting. You don't understand how early you are. You know what? Like we were so early. You know how your mama say, "Okay, it's time to go." You know what I'm saying? Get ready. I'm already ready. I'm in the damn car already with my seatbelt on. She's in there getting ready. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? That's how ready we are. Breaking. Director of Economic Council Hassett says inflation has dropped sharply and growth is high. Wake up. Oh, man. SEC to enforce Trump's that will open $12.5 trillion 401k retirement liquidity to crypto. Trillions to flow into crypto. Again, I'm putting this in your face, family. You got the documentations in your face. What more do you need to understand where you can head? You know, you see it. Huh. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Raul Paul, the 4-year cycle is now the 5-year cycle. Bitcoin should peak in 2026, probably Q2. Let's run this shit right quick.
Why is Bitcoin sort of not wildly off to the races yet?
Yeah.
And it's this chart. Bitcoin is basically, this is a detrended Bitcoin. And it's basically the ISM, which is the business cycle. Remember, we've always said it's the business cycle stupid. It is always the business cycle stupid. And all of these people who claim it's the 4-year cycle based around this and that, they don't understand the fundamental of what the business cycle is, why there's a 4-year cycle and everything. And we've explained it. We'll go through it in great detail tomorrow in our Everything Code presentation. But basically, it's following the ISM. And rates have been following the same pattern. You see, rates should have come lower. They need to come lower because we need to roll the debt. We've talked about this. That's part of the Everything Code, fundamental part. And ISM, because rates are so high, has meant that Main Street has been screwed while Wall Street's made money from debasement. Earnings versus scarce assets. This is the issue that they need to solve, and they need to get rates lower. They get rates lower. Why? Why do we have an elongated business cycle that looks like virtually no other real other time? It's because, and I only just found this out redoing the work on the Everything Code recently, is that in 2021-22, they actually extended the maturity of the debt from 4 years to 5 years. So that extension of the maturity of debt has pushed out the business cycle a year. The 4-year cycle this time around is a 5-year cycle. We don't know what the next one will be until we see where they all end up getting refinanced. Whether it comes back to 4 because they managed to get some stuff at the long end, or whether they shorten it because everything's in the short end. We don't know yet. But this one is a 5-year cycle. And this is what it looks like. A 5.4-year sine curve. 5.4 years is the exact average weighted maturity of the debt. And it tells us the ISM should peak by 2026. We think liquidity probably peaks before that, as the rate of change of ISM changes and the rate of change of liquidity changes. Our best guess remains well into 2026, probably Q2.
Oh, I said the 4-year cycle is dead. It's dead. Huh. Uh-oh. Here's James Cramer. Jim Cramer, let me make the thing a little bit bigger. No homo. Man, everything's so crazy nowadays. Man, let's just talk normal for nowadays. Speculation is allowed, which is it is allowed. You know, people say their own opinions, have their own educated guesses, but be prepared to lose everything and make the spec a smaller part of your portfolio after this remarkable run. And then Jeremy, he says, it means we should expect generational wealth. Reverse Jim. Again, he says speculation is allowed, but be prepared to lose everything and make the spec a smaller part of your portfolio after this remarkable run. Oh man. Oh man. I'm talking to him this morning. I'm talking to them this morning. I hope you guys are understanding what's going on. Let's hear what Anthony Pompliano.
One of the things we got to talk about is that gold is up 40% in 2025. This is the single best year that gold has had since 1979. And people want to know, why is the precious metal going higher? What is it that's driving people to go and buy gold? Well, I think there's two things. The first is that central banks are buying a lot of gold. And some of that may be because of geopolitics, or they're worried about some sort of sanctions type risk. But I actually think the bigger driver is that this chart, M2 money supply, it continues to go higher. M2 money supply just hit a brand new all-time high of $22.2 trillion. So if they're going to keep printing money, which we're very good at doing and we're never going to stop, then that debases the currency. If the currency is being debased, you can't keep all of your wealth in dollars, so you got to go into a store of value. Gold's winning big right now, and Bitcoin's done pretty well as well. But I think that gold will continue winning through the end of the year, and then Bitcoin's going to follow. You're going to see both of these assets continue to be very popular with investors as long as they debase the currency. And so why is gold going up? It's because they're printing money. And gold will stop going up once they stop printing money. But they're never going to stop printing money, so gold's going to continue to go up. And gold and Bitcoin, those are going to be big winners in portfolios over the next decade.
Everybody's scared. You shouldn't even be scared, man. What's really going on? Bullish. The SEC advises the average people to diversify their 401ks with Bitcoin. And you know what I hear a lot? This is what I hear a lot. For retail investors, basically the people who are investing into the 401k, who invest into the stock market, see, they like safety more than risk. Mainly all of them. And the 2%ers are the ones that say, hey, I'm going to take a gamble. I know Bitcoin is the standard. I know Bitcoin is gold. I mean, we're not going to knock Bitcoin. I mean, we see where Bitcoin is heading up to. But that 2%er, they're saying, well, okay, I'm going to take this gamble into these assets, do my research. They're always going to do their research. They can go down the rabbit hole. But when they drop down in there and they see what this asset capability of evolving into, they will already have the data of understanding that, okay, if I invest this amount of money into Dogelon Mars, we're able to buy Bitcoin. Doesn't matter if Bitcoin is at what, 2 million, $3 million. It's all about how much you invested into Dogelon Mars, of how much Bitcoin you could still obtain. You will still be able to obtain much more Bitcoin than the average citizen around the world. Let's just make that make sense. And you will still be able to purchase a whole Ethereum and a whole Solana and XRP. I mean, make it make sense. And this is how, this is like, you know, when people talk crazy about the tokens or whatnot, how Scottie Pippen told Sailor that he met Satoshi in 1993. This is my look every time when I hear fudders.
You mentioned you met Satoshi in Seattle in 1993. You he also came to you in a dream. You have a nice relationship with Satoshi.
I feel like I do.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a story to tell. Definitely have an opportunity to meet him back in 1993.
Yeah, that's how I be feeling. That's how I be feeling when I be hearing all that woo woo. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I be feeling. Get ready. Bitcoin ETF buying will 100% be even better in 2026.
So in the report, you highlighted that since their launch in 2024, Bitcoin ETPs have attracted about $170 billion. The question is whether we can expect similar inflows continuing in a sustainable fashion in the coming months and years. What evidence is there that institutional adoption will continue at the same pace rather than stalling after an initial burst?
Yeah, it's a really great question. The evidence is I come from an ETF background. So before I joined Bitwise, I was the CEO of ETF.com, created the first ETF analytics system in the world. So this is a space I know well. If you look at all ETF history, it's extraordinarily rare for ETF inflows to slow down in their first few years. Usually what you see is that flows build. Year 2 is bigger than year 1, year 3 is bigger than year 2, year 4 is bigger than year 3, and so on. If we look at the gold ETF as an example, which launched in 2004, it was the second most successful ETF launch of all time at that time. It gathered $3 billion in its first year. Everyone was excited, but it gathered $5 billion in its second year, and then $8 billion, and then $10 billion, and then $12 billion. The reason those flows go up is that when an ETF is approved in the US, it's not actually automatically available to all investors. Major wirehouses that control trillions of dollars of wealth, like Morgan Stanley and Wells Fargo, have to turn on approval as well. And that process can take a long time. At Bitwise, we just had a $1 trillion+ wirehouse, which I can't name, approve our Bitcoin ETF for distribution this week.
Wow.
So because you get these approvals, flows tend to build over time.
Oh,
It's possible that the Bitcoin ETF is like the first major ETF for which that is not true. And all of the last 30+ years of ETF history isn't going to repeat. But the base case should be that if this follows the normal pattern, flows are actually going to accelerate. And I think when you take that and you combine that with the fact that people are getting more comfortable with Bitcoin, that the regulatory environment is good, and that there is rising concern about dollar debasement and fiat debasement, I think we're going to be surprised to the upside. So I expect flows to continue to accelerate, and for this year to be better than last, and next year to be better than this one.
Reminder, dropping today, initial jobless claims, core PCE prices Q2, GDP Q2, expect volatility. Ohio State Board of Deposit approved a vendor to accept Bitcoin and crypto payments for state fees and services. And as you see here, Russia. Okay, hold on. And put this up right quick. Russia fines Google $20 decillion, many times larger than the global GDP. And then you see here.
Биткоин. Кто может запретить? Никто. А использование других электронных
Look how he did it. Look how you look. He says, who can ban Bitcoin? Nobody. Who can ban digital currency? Nobody. But look at his facial remarks. Like, this is the reason.
Может запретить. Никто. А использование других электронных средств расчета. Кто может запретить? Никто. Потому что это новые технологии. И чего бы ни было, чего бы ни происходило с долларом, эти инструменты так или иначе будут развиваться, потому что все будут стремиться к тому, чтобы снижать издержки и повышать надежность.
He knows what he's talking about, boy. Apple CEO Tim Cook says he owns Bitcoin, has been interested in it for a while. In a previous video I posted that they said that, let him go back. Previous videos I had said the guy was like, well, Apple has not even gotten into Bitcoin and whatnot.
Do you own crypto and any Bitcoin or Ethereum? Would you play around with this?
I do. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to own it as a part of a diversified portfolio. And I'm not giving anybody investment advice, by the way.
When did you get interested in it?
I've been interested in it for a while, and I've been researching it and so forth. And so I think it's interesting.
Huh. Oh man. Solana or Ethereum, which crypto is better investment in 2026? $15 billion Bitwise. And you just heard him earlier.
And so your question is which blockchain? And the two leading contenders are Ethereum and Solana. I use the phrase Solana is the new Wall Street because when you look at crypto over the last 18 months, the recipe for really strong returns has been very clear. You take ETF inflows, you add corporate treasuries buying, and you get a good news cycle and you get extraordinary returns. If you think about Bitcoin, we had the Bitcoin ETF launch in January 2024. We had an explosion of Bitcoin DATs. We had concerns about fiat debasement, and the price tripled. If you think about Ethereum, we had ETF flows start to turn around in April when people got excited about tokenization, and we had Tom Lee and others launch Ethereum DATs, and the price tripled. If you look at Solana right now, there's widespread expectation that we'll see multiple Solana ETPs launch in the very near term. At the same time, you have a great technical story with the Alpenglow upgrade and rising interest in tokenization. And then you layer on these very large DATs with huge, well-renowned speakers like Dan Moorhead from Pantera or Kyle Samani from Multicoin, some of the most articulate advocates for crypto in the world. You put all that together, and I think the outlook is extraordinarily strong. And the last thing I would say about that is that Solana, remember, is much, much smaller than Bitcoin and much, much smaller than Ethereum. Bitcoin's a $2.5 trillion asset. Solana is a $100 billion asset. It's 1/25th the size. It's 1/5 the size of Ethereum. And what that means is these purchases by the DATs and any inflows from investors are going to have an amplified effect. I haven't seen as positive a setup for a crypto asset since I got to Bitwise. It's just an extraordinary setup. I'm very bullish for Solana season.
You heard him. I mean, come on, man. Treasury Secretary Bessent says Powell should have cut rates by 100 to 150 BPS. Could next month be a major interest rate cut? Stay tuned. As what you guys know, Christine Lagarde stated in my last video that the European Council needs to hurry up expeditiously on creating their stablecoin. European banks unite for Euro stablecoin. UniCredit, ING, and other banks team up to launch a MiCA-compliant Euro-backed stablecoin. Target launch on 2026. So again, family, who do you believe in? Well, let me take that back. Do you trust your process? Do you believe in your process? Let me know in the comment section. I love all of you guys. Stay motivated.
That shit might go over nigga head if you ain't paying attention. A lot of niggas don't even know what DeFi is.
If you wanna talk to me, pay me in crypto, DeFi shit. Fuck all the banks if your ass need a loan. Come and see me. Fuck the government, I'm decentralized bitch. Won't tax me, I ain't paying that shit. Fuck what you talking about, bitch, I'm legit. Want universal basic income, not me. Who you think you playing with, bitch, not me. Fuck centralized, that's government money. Fuck your eyes, they ain't spying on me. I'm my own boss, most high got me. I'm my own boss, most high got me. I'ma shoot the 3 like CP3. Great transformation, what do you feel me? Global reset, put the switch on me. XRP, gon' set a nigga free. Trust wallet game, don't need no safe. Rolls Royce ride when I pick up, babe. 13 M's, I'ma drop it on the house. Another 5 M's on the Lamborghini boat. 15 M's, ain't shit to me. Cryptocurrency set a nigga free. If you feel like I feel, dog, that's real. Blockchain shit just switched up the game. Fuck $100 bill, dog, that's lame. I don't want fiat, nigga, that's pain. In a couple days, that bit gon' crash. All the markets too, that's y'all last. The wrong pause.